Hello everyone, welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, Ambassador Charles Maynard to be given an official funeral. Ministry of Health adopt new model to improve care of people with CNCDs, and past students of the Monsean Primary School give back to their alma mater. We'll bring you the details of these and other stories when National Focus returns. Stay with us.
Hello, I am Bishop Gabriel Malzer, Bishop of Roseau, and I am Dominica. Are you?
Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. The Roosevelt-Skerrit-led cabinet has approved an official funeral for the late Ambassador Charles Maynard, who died last week. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt-Skerrit disclosed on national radio on Wednesday that his government took that decision because of the sterling contribution the former politician made to Dominica's development. The Prime Minister said that on Tuesday, May 22nd, all flags in the country will be flown at half-mast, and the viewing of the body will be from 2 p.m. at the St. Alphonsus Catholic Church. The Prime Minister also announced that a number of overseas guests and dignitaries are expected to attend the funeral. Ambassador Maynard died in the early hours of Tuesday, May 8, 2010, at the Princess Margaret Hospital. Ambassador Maynard, since his passing, has been described as a nationalist, a hero who will be missed by Dominica, and a man admired for his strength of views. The Ministry of Health is hoping to adopt a chronic care model project as part of its campaign in addressing chronic non-communicable diseases, or CNCDs, in Dominica. The Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, is providing technical support to the island in getting this project off the ground. On Tuesday, the Health Promotion Unit and the PAHO staged a one-day workshop which provided healthcare providers with current information on CNCDs and how they could improve the quality of care provided to people with CNCDs. Acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Helen Roye, described the workshop as useful.
It is important to note, though, that self-management and empowerment of people with chronic diseases are the key factors for success in service development. But for patients to play their role, healthcare providers must constantly provide basic information about their disease, promoting and guiding the development of self-monitoring skills and encouraging the involvement of members of the health team, family, friends, and community members so that patients feel that they are supported in the self-monitoring and self-management process. Hence, the importance of your training here today.
The Ministry of Health is hoping that with the adoption of this chronic care model, it will better serve people with CNCDs, especially those with disabilities, so as to facilitate their integration into the community and to empower them to become more responsible. The Ministry of Health, and by extension the Government of Dominica, has taken active efforts in development of community-based care services through the primary healthcare system for people with chronic problems. Recently, the Ministry of Health launched its CNCD policy draft and has commenced work on the strategic plan for CNCDs, which seeks to give special attention to many of the components highlighted in this chronic care model project. By adopting this model, Dominica will be joining countries around the world that have already initiated this project and will be consistent with the international standards that have been set. This will provide Dominicans with a chronic care passport, which will assist them in keeping track of health problems and taking the necessary actions to address them. Wednesday's workshop was facilitated by advisor on chronic disease and mental health at PAHO, Dr. Tomo Kanda, who will work with Dominica on this project for the next 18 months. Last year, 5 countries in the Caribbean, including Antigua, Barbados, Grenada, St. Lucia, and Anguilla, conducted a similar project. In more news, the Dominica Nurses Association is seeking to encourage greater professionalism within the nursing profession through a series of nursing activities during the month of May. Acting Principal Nursing Officer at the Princess Margaret Hospital, Letitia Lestrade-Wyke, told a recent panel discussion organized by the Nurses Association that nurses need to uphold the profession on and off the job as outlined in the Nurses Pledge.
It's almost like an oath. And it's not just a pledge just to repeat it. It's a pledge you take as part. You know, you have completed your training and you are pledging to do your best. And one of the lines in it says, "I promise that at all times my personal life shall always bring credit to my profession." So when you are a nurse, on the job, not on the job, anywhere you are supposed to behave professionally and behave as a nurse. We have problems, and that is why we are hoping during this month of activities for May, we could really work, on improving in those areas.
As a means of motivating nurses to give excellent customer service, the hospital official says the Dominica Nurses Association has initiated a special awards ceremony later this month, which will reward nurses for their professionalism on and off the job.
We have an awards ceremony where we are going to recognize staff for professional excellence, so your clinical competence, how you do your duties and so on. And we are also going to recognize staff for customer service. So we are recognizing 21 nurses to include the Princess Margaret Hospital and the Health District for customer service and 21 for professional excellence. That we expect to be an annual event. So to see if we can encourage our nurses to perform better on the job and off the job.
The Dominica Nurses Association throughout the month of May has been hosting a series of activities to observe Nurses Month on the island. On May 12, 2012, Dominica observed International Nurses Day under the theme Closing the Gap from Evidence to Action.
This is a day of celebration. Everybody come see. This is a day of celebration. Let the music breathe. This is the day of celebration. Everybody come see.
And there was quite a lot to give thanks for at the Monsean Primary School on Tuesday, as a group of past students handed over much needed items to that institution. The class of 1995 presented a DVD player, printer and photocopying machine to the school during a ceremony on the school grounds. Shalene Prescott represented the donors at Tuesday's ceremony.
I know that these equipments will assist the principal and staff greatly. We encourage you to make the best use of it. I would like to take this opportunity to applaud to the young people to give back to their communities, because it is indeed better to give than to receive. This seed was grown from the head of Kurt Prescott. Kurt Prescott is in the States, and he brought us together, and with the use of the BlackBerry, we were able to communicate and find out what the school really needed. This is just the beginning. Amen. We would like to give much, much more.
School Principal Vanya Aylwa is impressed by the thoughtfulness and generosity of the students.
These young people who reside in different geographical locations all over the world are able to pool their resources together and give back to the school in a tangible way, the school which gave them their foundation. Usually when donations are sought or when they are made, we think of firms, businesses like Jungle Bay, and the like. We also usually target people who we think have retired and they have extra money to give, those who are settled and those who can say, well, I've gone past through the hard time. We think of people who we probably think have surplus funds. However, these young people have shown us that despite the fact that they are at a juncture where they have to give priority to themselves, that is, they have to look about their houses, they're building a house, maybe buying a vehicle, maybe getting married and raise their children, starting a family. They have still found it in their heart to give of their resources and donate these 3 pieces of equipment, which cost quite a bit of money. And it does not stop here. They have promised more things to come. And for this, we are all grateful. These, my friends, are the true patriots. They are the ones who love us and they love our children, they love Dominica. They don't talk, they act.
Staff, students, and residents of the community also witnessed the recommissioning of the school's library. The library has been completely reorganized and now has a wider variety and quantity of books, thanks to the Open Book, Open Mind program. The program was initiated by a Peace Corps volunteer with support from the manager of Jungle Bay Resort, Sam Raphael.
We decided to go out and to raise resources and to find these books, to identify interesting books, books that would take the children around the world, would expand their minds, because you cannot develop a society without a very literate community. You have to be able to read and write and reason. And so it was important for us to get out there in terms of promoting our community. This is one of the first steps. So we went out and sought donations. We made a lot of alliances, and one of the alliances we made is with an organization, Hands Across the Sea in the US, and they assist with finding and getting discounts on books. And so we made contributions of our first trench, and I think recently we just received and they were delivered another set of mostly workbooks. But this is an ongoing program.
School Principal Vanya Ilwa has already recognized the benefits of the contribution of books to the renovated library.
When a thought is put into action and it meets the right kind of people and the fertile soil, how it can blossom and grow, and the far-reaching effects it can have on so many lives. You can tell because we have students in K who are able to read at grade 2 level, and they make great use of the library. So these efforts do not go in vain.
In other news, there continues to be calls from people of all walks of life for young people to get involved in agriculture. The purpose for the appeal is usually the same: to continue feeding the island's population. Catholic priest Father Jason Grell is from the community of Soufre, but has been serving the parish of St. Francis Xavier for almost 3 years. His interest in agriculture has led to a transformation of the grounds opposite the La Plaine Catholic Church into agricultural plots.
I always say to the people of La Plaine, the southeast, is that they are blessed by God. And it is important that as a community, that they use the land that God has given to them to earn a living. For me, in the southeast, because of so much land, there are persons who will use it, there are persons who will just let grass grow on it, and there are persons who somehow don't care about the land. But even here around the church, that the first time I came to La Plaine, I realized that the land is being used, but it could have been used a little more. So what we have done, including the yardman, Lloyd Collier, is to look at areas around the church that we can put some crops down, that we can use for the presbytery itself, like dasheen and potatoes and a little corn and plantains and fig. This is what makes us who we are. This is what makes us Dominica. We are blessed with so much land. And in the southeast, what we have done is to put our action where our mouth is, in a sense that to look at the land, to use the land, and to earn a living. So we haven't got to go to the market and buy things like potatoes and fig and plantain, that we can use what we produce to earn living here.
Produce from the agricultural plots in La Plaine has been given to the less fortunate.
The number of trips that I've made to Roseau and to bring bananas over to the house, to the infirmary, and to the house of the homeless and so on, we have been providing in our own little way as church. So for me, pastoral ministry is not about only preaching on a Sunday morning. It extends to various simple things, like simple things that you do that can enhance community living. And for me, using the soil, that what God has blessed us with, the nature, creation, to allow, to enhance our society and to make persons better. And that's why I believe that if as young people we can use the soil, stop saying that we can't, okay? We can use what we have to earn a living, and I think our society would have been a better place.
And that's the English segment of the news. We now join McPherson St. Luce for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moins, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, management Solid Waste Dominica encourage les Dominicains pour point à vie recycling qui y a des monde fait. Parole cela sorti en officier relations publiques management Solid Waste Dominique, M. Geno Jacob.
Pour faire un landfill, au besoin en quarry, ça quarry sur place, la moun ka fouiller pour ça, bien comme ça. Et puis autant quarry en Dominique, yo pour village, et puis personne parler landfill pour yo. Et puis nous savons lors des accès sortir de landfill là, et puis landfill même ka coûter en l'eau l'argent. So comme ça Dominique entier puis Caraïbes là on la terre ça moun ka fait yo ka garder zordis pas qu'on zordis encore mais c'est yon bitin pour faire l'argent or reusable resource et puis nous ka Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation nous ka masser pan bouteille plastique vieux batterie l'huile hot voiture l'huile hot cuisine l'huile ka fouille manger tout papier si on l'autre bitin nous ka travailler et puis l'office en Roseau pour masser ces bitins là pour mettre en container pour pouvoir aller l'autre pays parce que en loi Dominique en loi Solid Waste il y a un cradle to grave policies ça c'est veut dire que si bitin te bâti l'autre pays est supposé mort ou tuer l'autre pays. Recycling est important pour nous parce que que chaîne Dominique plus net et que fait certain que moun en place pour disposer pour jeter masser mettre les ordres et puis nous travailler et puis il y a des communes qu'on va faire cette Mzol à Goodwill Santa Roma là nous jabayo poubelle bins plastique pour mettre pain plastique pour mettre les ordres ça c'est un pan plastique et puis bouteille et puis nous ramasser ces ordres ça là tous les semaines nous savons Santa Roma Goodwill Santa Roma c'est mardi et puis vendredi mardi et puis seulement nous ramasser tous les semaines et puis Buffet State Mzol c'est le lundi.
À notre nouvelle chairman Nef Aid Bank Martin Charles qui a fait parole que pour mieux priorité travail à Neflé que pour joindre et puis membre Baudelaire à une manière connaître conditions banque là et puis manière pour déterminer aller devant. Charles fait parole cela quand il prend position Nef cela mois passé et des opérations banque là qui courir c'est le plan 5 l'année banque cela. Monsieur Charles aussi fait parole qui pendant temps il est chairman banque là qui tient initiative bagay à Nef qui est positionné comme une banque qui bien en Caraïbes et aussi fait parole qui a gardé devant où la banque là ça continue à assister au développement économique pour Dominique. Charles Kawan Makouye à ces monde qui prête l'argent à votre banque là pour tenir commitment ailleurs payer l'oignon oui. En d'autres nouvelles, le gouvernement Dominique par BNTF développé plusieurs systèmes de l'eau tout mon pays là. Parole cela sur de sécurité parlement ministre management de l'eau Honorable Ivor Stevenson. Sinon Honorable Stevenson ça c'est programme gouvernement mené de l'eau potable tout mon pays là.
Gouvernement et puis BNTF pour l'année passée, il y a gardé compte autant de l'eau économique. BNTF, il a gardé compte de l'eau en Tissavan. Donc, a changé de temps passé l'année passée, il y a commissionné un système de l'eau en Tissavan. Nous avons 4 bords en Bagatelle. Nous avons Monkey Hill. Nous avons un système en Chaufford qui a juste commencé d'être en mois passé, mois avril. Nous aussi avons des projets tout en pays. Autant de petits projets. So, gouvernement et puis BNCF actuellement, il y a qui si on pas improve le système là, ces places là, il y a qui yo mettez glo neuf dans ce place là. Parce ça nous c'est ça, dans ces villages ça système glo yo pas bon. Ces pipes là yo pas bon. Nous avons qui c'est une là qui était là avant, yo pas qui yo sauve ces monde là tout le temps. Et puis c'est protect ça là BNTF. Yo qui yo tirer ces pipes là, faire new intake, faire new dam et puis tout ça qui fait la vie meilleure pour ces monde ça dans ces places là BNTF et puis gouvernement qui a tapé l'argent pour construire ces systèmes ça.
Et puis finalement, ministre santé a continué à promouvoir bonne santé pour toute catégorie monde public là. Ça fait au là il a conduit divers programmes. Programme Primary Healthcare qu'a voit nos tout un pays qu'a one service en 52 cliniques et puis 2 gros hôpitaux. Comme même si l'on chef nos en département Primary Healthcare Florestin Luce, service santé qui yo ka one tout un pays là qu'a bénéficié tout le monde. Et de yoka one service santé, yoka visiter moun, family planning, service maternity, et puis bébé ka tapé traitement immunisation. Nos Louis aussi fait parole que yoka one service santé pour négliger l'école tout en pays là. Mesdames, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Thank you, McPherson. When we come back, we'll bring you a few upcoming events and government notices. Do stay with us.
Let your spirit take to flight. Let your heart run free and wild. Find your soul in Dominica, the nature isle.
Time now for the government notices. The Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division, in partnership with the University of the West Indies Open Campus, cordially invites the general public to a presentation entitled Connecting People in Bird Conservation on Thursday, May 17 at 7 p.m. at the auditorium of the UWI Open Campus on Emsall Road. This is one of several activities to observe the 2012 Caribbean Endemic Birds Festival in Dominica. The Ministry of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment invites applications from suitably qualified candidates to fill the position of Information Officer at the Government Information Service. The core functions of the position include collecting information from various government departments to keep the public informed of important current events, preparing radio or television programs in both English and local dialect, assisting with the removing of still photographs, video camera operation and editing of television programs. Qualifications required includes a bachelor's degree, diploma or certificate in mass communication or in any other related field from an accredited university. Applicants must have a minimum of 1 year experience. Experience in carrying out research and excellent oral and written communication and interpersonal skills would also be an added advantage. The ability to correctly interpret and reproduce ideas expressed in conversation and written form and the ability to speak the Creole language is also required. Applications including only certified copies of professional certificates, detailed curriculum vitae, and 2 letters of reference should be submitted to the Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Information, Telecommunications and Constituency Empowerment, Government Headquarters, Roseau, Commonwealth of Dominica, in sealed envelopes marked confidential to reach no later than Thursday, May 31, 2012. Additional information can be obtained from the Ministry by calling telephone number 266-3294 or 266-3507. Interested public officers should apply through their heads of departments. Only shortlisted candidates will be acknowledged. And effective May 5, 2012, the Portsmouth Plant Quarantine Office was relocated to the former Whipdeco Way Bridge at Longhouse. Please be guided accordingly. And applications are invited from suitably qualified persons for contractual appointment in the post of Solicitor General in the Ministry of Tourism and Legal Affairs. Duties include giving legal advice and preparing legal documents, representing government in legal proceedings, and training junior lawyers. Qualifications include a master's degree in law or legal education from a recognized university, and certificate in legal education, and at least 2 years' experience in the legal field. The successful candidate will be contracted for a period of 2 years in the first instance. Applications, including certified copies of professional certificates, detailed curriculum vitae, and 2 letters of reference, should be submitted under confidential cover to the Permanent Secretary, the Ministry of Tourism and Legal Affairs, Government Headquarters, Kennedy Avenue, Roseau, Dominica. Application forms should reach the Permanent Secretary on or before May 31, 2010. Up next is your tip of the day. Don't go away. Do you know that plastic takes 15 to 1,000 years to decay? Plastic degrades the environment. Let's reduce and reuse plastic. A tip brought to you by the Environmental Health Department in collaboration with the Solid Waste Management Corporation as part of its 3 R's campaign this week. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions or comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm, or you can visit our website at news.gov.dm, or you could visit our GIS Dominica page on YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching, and do remember to join us again tomorrow.
Glory to God.